Captured here in January 1968, RMS Queen Elizabeth was Cunard's second superliner, designed specifically to work in tandem with the Queen Mary on the year-round North Atlantic run. At 83,000 tonnes, her gross tonnage was 2,000 tonnes greater than that of her sister ship, and her length of over 1,029 feet made her the largest liner in the world. Apart from having fewer funnels, there were numerous less obvious differences between the two queens, which essentially added up to the Elizabeth having a more streamlined profile. She entered service secretly in February 1940. Without even time for sea trials, her first voyage was a dash across the Atlantic from the Clyde to New York, where it was hoped she would be laid up in relative safety for the duration of the war. As it turned out, however, like the Mary, she was called up for war service. So instead of being fitted out to accommodate 2,000 fare-paying passengers, many in luxury, she was to carry Australian and New Zealand troops to India and Africa, and later transport US troops to Britain. At the end of the war, she was given a complete refit, transforming her in anticipation of her first commercial voyage. Although perhaps not given quite as much acclaim as her sister ship, the Lizzie was an immense success. She won a great many admirers and celebrity passengers, many of whom travelled aboard with regularity. With the decline of the transatlantic trade in the mid-60s, the Queen Elizabeth was refitted with extra air conditioning so she would be able to undertake cruising. She was too wide, however, to pass through the Suez Canal, and although some of these excursions were quite successful, the QE failed to generate enough income to persuade Cunard to retain her. She was eventually sold in 1968 to a group of American businessmen who proposed using her as a tourist attraction. But when this fell through, she was sold again to Chinese shipping magnate C.Y. Tung. His dream was to transform her into the world-touring Seawise University. Sadly, as the refit neared completion, she was destroyed by fire in January 1972.